So the top 10 players in the 2024 class, this time using Ty Xander's and Inside Lacrosse rankings. Starting off at number 10, we have Peyton Fox, a defenseman from Belmont Hill in Massachusetts. Calling Fox just a close defender or LSM would be a major disrespect to his game. The 6-foot, 180-pound pole is extremely versatile, able to play down low or blanket a team's top midfielder as an LSM. On top of that, Fox has shown his ability to rip it in transition with either hand and scrap for ground balls on a faceoff. The Massachusetts defender is a matchup nightmare, shutting down plenty of the class's top attackmen and forcing tons of turnovers. With a wide range of checks in his arsenal and elite footwork, Fox looks like a potential superstar at the next level. Fox just recently announced his commitment to Princeton, and I look forward to seeing how he develops in college alongside some of the best defensive minds in the country. Attackman everywhere, watch out. Fox is an extremely athletic defender that is very difficult to beat. I know we'll be seeing him on ESPN quite soon. Next up at number 9, a player that needs no introduction, Caden Harshbarger, an extremely athletic midfielder from Lake Mary in Florida. Harshbarger came in at number 10 in the NLF rankings and sits very closely in ILs. He has an elite right-to-right split that gets any LSM to bite, but he also has the skill set to roll back and create high-level separation. His shot on the run is a beauty, stinging corners on the run with ease. Arguably, Harshbarger's biggest trait, however, is his ability to play anywhere on the field. The first-class dodger isn't just a no-midi, he can lock it down on defense too. He will routinely stay on the field and run some D-mid before creating a dangerous transition opportunity for his team. His explosive first step reminds me a lot of Michael Sowers, and combine that with the elite shot down the alley of Ryan Drinner. Harshbarger is an all-around stud, and I could see him making an immediate impact at the college level. And next up at number 8, we have Caden, another recurring top recruit. The Culver Academy and West Coast Stars keeper came in at number 3 in NLF's edition of rankings, and for good reason. The consensus number 1 keeper in the class, Wynn's stature at 6'2" and 200 pounds makes him the ideal size for a Division 1 keeper. He has the physical capabilities that he can fill up a large portion of the cage while also having the explosiveness to make ridiculous stops on the doorsteps and from range. Wynn has already committed to his dream school, Army West Point, and will only look to further his impeccable resume at the Culver Academy. The show MVP, a multiple-time 1% All-Star, getting invited twice to Best in Class, and a standout at Showtime, Caden has built himself quite the reputation as an elite netminder that could totally get playing time early at the US Military Academy. I just know we're going to see this guy absolutely kill it live on national TV for years to come. And by the way, you can join 3,000 other lacrosse players and join the Lax Weekly email newsletter packed with tangible tips on how to become a better lacrosse player. I'll leave a link in the description where you can go subscribe now. And next up at number 7, we have Brady Pokorny, a phenomenal left-handed attack out of Darien in Connecticut. Brady has a ridiculous shot, being able to hammer one home from outside, yet also the ability to be an accurate finisher from closer range. He has clearly demonstrated his high lacrosse IQ, rarely turning over the ball and making it count when he has the ball in his stick. My favorite part of Brady's game is his ability to dodge to score. He creates plenty of space and then displays his signature left-handed hammer. With a wide range of release points, Brady's shot is a nightmare for opposing keepers. It can be very difficult to read where he wants to shoot the ball, making it almost impossible to save. Not only can he shoot, but as I mentioned earlier, this kid can dodge. Just watch as he breaks pretty much any defender's ankles. I'm really looking forward to seeing how he fits in at Notre Dame alongside Chris Kavanaugh. He kind of gives me a mix of Mac O'Keefe's shooting ability and Zed Williams' dodging ability. And his skill set is absolutely incredible, and he should feast as a member of the Fighting Irish. And here at number 6, we have Hudson Hausmann, an athletic defender out of Brunswick, Connecticut. Yes, Brunswick is the same school that has brought us plenty of talented midfielders over the years. Hausmann looks to be the next great Brunswick alum. He dodges with explosion and has great stick skills on both hands, and he can play a little bit of defense. One thing that I've noticed throughout the class is, boy, these midfielders can play both sides of the ball. And I think we could be seeing more of a shift to the all-around two-way midfielders like Zach Currier that have taken the game by storm. Hudson has a slick roll dodge and can score from any point on the field. With one of the more diverse skill sets in his class, I think that Hudson will make a crazy impact at whatever school he decides to choose. Then next up at number 5, we have Spencer Ford, a phenomenal attackman from the Boys Latin School in Maryland. Ford, a two-handed bare-handed weapon with great size, has displayed one of the more ridiculous arsenals that I've ever seen. Come on, just look at these BTBs that this man scores. He follows Digstape's rule number 1, do the goalie as dirty as possible. Shout out to Digstape for that one. Not only can Ford increase his angle with a BTB, but he can dodge to the net and create opportunities for his teammates and just absolutely let it fly from outside. But one of my favorite parts of Ford's game is that he doesn't always need the ball in his stick to succeed. Much like Chris Gray from UNC, the ball will find Ford's stick in the clutch, but he will let the game come to him rather than quickly pushing and turning the ball over. Ford announced recently that he'll be staying close to home and heading to College Park to become a Terrapin. Coach John Tillman is getting a phenomenal all-around prospect at the University of Maryland, and I'm fired up to see if he will be the next great Maryland lacrosse player to don the number 1 during his senior season. Yet another Connecticut native is next up at number 4 with Kyle Colsey, a talented attackman. A dynamic playmaker, the lefty can easily dodge to the rack, but also has a cannon. Kyle was a Showtime MVP this summer, and for good reason. Just watching his highlights, I can tell that he's a very smart attackman and can pick apart any defense with ease. His brother Ryan is headed to UVA this fall, and Kyle will join him in 2024. I'm pumped to see the duo reunited and watch the two brothers light it up at UVA as they look to head back to the national championship. I think a fair comparison for Colsey would be Kieran McCardle, a crafty lefty finisher that can also pull it from range and dodge smoothly. He can shoot step-off shots and dive to the crease and absolutely bury it. I think that Kyle will be an electric scorer at UVA. And next up, we have the number 1 face-off guy in the class, Ben McCarthy out of the Haverford School in Philadelphia. Ben was also ranked as the number 1 FOGO by NLF in the last video that I did. And once again, McCarthy is one of those face-off guys that you can easily get excited by. Not only will he dominate his opponent and win the team his ball, but he can step in and let his shot fly with power. He is a legitimate offensive threat, and it only makes it harder for teams to stop the electric Haverford offense. Heading to Durham, North Carolina, McCarthy will make John Danowski's Duke offense just that much more dangerous, as defenses will be forced to slide to McCarthy when he wins a face-off. And that just means you're leaving Andrew McAdory and co. wide open to finish. The Blue Devils got a fantastic player in McCarthy, and he could be the start of bringing Duke back to the national championship. And next up at number 2, we have Matthew Jeffrey, a midfielder from Connecticut. In a class full of ridiculous athletes, Jeffrey may just be the best of all of them. He stars as his school's quarterback, point guard, and obviously a star on the lacrosse field. Another powerful lefty, Jeffrey dodges with a head full of steam and uses his powerful frame to blow by defenders and score goals. Matt's made a number of very nice plays, but my favorite have to be his leaners. He's like Jeff Teat level good. He's already extremely successful, tallying 115 points as a sophomore, but the development of Matt's non-dominant hand could easily turn him into one of the best collegiate players in the country once he arrives at Notre Dame. I think this guy fits in perfectly at Notre Dame, and I cannot wait to watch him play. Finally, at number 1, we have Ryan Duenkel, an extremely shifty attackman from St. John's College High School in DC. And Ryan may be a bit undersized at 5'8", but he hasn't let that stop him from becoming one of the nation's most prolific scorers and feeders. In fact, Ryan is so talented that even with hip surgery ending his summer, he still found his home at the University of Virginia just days after September 1st. What I love about Ryan's game is how he's developed elite footwork and dodging skills that make him virtually unguardable. On top of that, his ability to not only score, but feed also makes him very difficult to cover, as sliding just leaves players open for Ryan to dish it to for easy finishes. Ryan will play at UVA alongside 2023 number 1 overall recruit McCabe Millen and fellow top 2024 Kyle Colsey. I think the three of them on one attack line would be very dangerous and lead to phenomenal results under the mastermind UVA head coach Lars Tiffany. This video was so much fun to make, and let me know what you think of this list. And also let me know down in the comments what video do you want to see next. I'm Jake with Lax Weekly. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you next time.